Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross watchers. Welcome to your Timeless Path of True Love read with Extended. I am your reader, fellow Virgo Sun sign, Mark Angelo, Lyons, Mal for short. They're my initials. Professional witch, professional intuitive, president of Drawing the Circle Production since 1998. Author of Words of Grace from a Professional Witch, available on Kindle. There is a link in the description box. And there is also a link in the description box to my Patreon, patreon.com/drawingthecircle. Best career move I ever made. Digging it big time over there as a mystical artist, a reader, a spiritual teacher, a healer, and all of that jazz. A Patreon allows me to set different levels of subscription, you see, and offer different benefits to those subscribers that choose to come along for the ride. All of my subscribers, all 8 tiers, levels of subscription, get the extended readings past, present, and future. As long as they remain subscribers, they also get me every single morning with an unlisted YouTube live stream link so they can chat with me. We talk about the day's astrological weather, the magical applications, the spiritual implications, always ending with a little prayer, a little blessing, a little something something, a Virgo service to send us on our way. And it is my favorite way to start the day, and I ain't lying. Yeah, you can go check it out. Link in the description box. Come along and play, because we're having a field day over there, and I'm serving the best that I got there. So if you want the deeper dive, more magic, more miracles, more mysticism, more Mal, come Patreon on Patreon. So I'm the Archangel of Lyons, Mark Angelo Lyons. But my Virgos, just call me Mal. Virgo power. Woo! Let's get to business, because I got an extended to do with this one, and happy to do so. Took a break from these over the holidays, but that's a good thing about timeless reads. I can juggle those around and get those waxing and waning reads done for the channel. So let's talk about this. Lots of links in the description box. I am a Virgo, as I said, explaining the path of true love and soul contracts, not just my own videos and stuff, other people's. If you want to go check that out. But to boil it down, the path of true love is your hero's journey, your healing journey, your spiritual path, your awakening process through the many different relationships and soul contracts you have in your life. These may be romantic, they may be not, they are general reads. And you get 15 cards in part 1 here on YouTube. And there's a link in the description box for the part 2 that I'll be recording after this on Vimeo.com if you like. You can pay-per-view. All of them are there. Just remember, all my patrons get all of those. So yeah, I'll get 15 on this one and 15 or more in the second one, as I am so intuitively guided to clarify this as much as I can in the part 2. But I think that's about enough of an explanation, right? So both feet on the floor if you can. Focus on your breath if you will. And I will do my best to get you the clarity, guidance, and grace that I can so that you can fulfill this contract, become the true love that you truly are. Go check stuff in the description box, and I'll explain that. As well as there's a preface to these readings that I recorded a few years ago if you want to check that out. All right, so cross watchers, have at it. We're going to start with party number 1 and party number 2. We're doing a classic Celtic Cross. Virgos and cross watchers, you're going to have to kind of suss out which one you are by the end of this reading, or if you're not exactly sure, keep going for the extended. So both feet on the floor if you can. Focus on your breath if you will. I'll do the best that I can for all of us here, because as we walk the path of true love, regardless of whatever relationships we're dealing with, as we heal, as we grow, as we evolve, as we become more truth and love embodied, we anchor that into paradise planet Earth, right? Anchor that here and now, making this world a better place. It may be a romantic read, because I know if more people were in happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, romantic relationships, this world would be a better place. Shift from explanation to divination happens in the still point, so please take a nice deep breath. Still point. Ooh, my hands just tingled. Ooh, here we go. All right. Using the Caroline Mace Archetype cards. I call upon the collective pantheons of the divine. For the Virgo collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross watchers watching this video and receiving this reading, I need 2, please, beloved pantheons of the divine. 1 for the cover, 1 for the cross. The dominant 8th chakra archetype for this soul contract involving the Virgo and the Cross Watchers. Party number 1, dominant 8th chakra archetype. Party number 2, crossing their path, dominant 8th chakra archetype for this timeless Path of True Love read. Ooh, we've got a gossip and an angel. Wow, okay. Creative family archetype. There are 9 different families, groups, categories of archetypes. And the divine family archetype. What's written on this card, if you're new to the channel or new to Caroline Mace's work, it's MYSS. She's a PhD, sacred contracts, genius work. All of her stuff is amazing. On the bottom is written the shadow attribute, the top the light attribute. This is lead on the bottom, gold on the top, toxic, healthy, and we're all on some kind of sliding scale. Now, the archetype in the 8th chakra affects every other chakra, what you attract, what you repel, the electromagnetic dynamics, the masculine, feminine energies of that, which is really what our relationships are based on. It's the template that shifts, that attracts and repels people, places, and things to ourselves. So the more you can alchemize this from shadow to light, lead to gold, pain to peace, that's what Path True Love is. So let's talk about the gossip. As I said, creative family archetype, the shadow attribute thrives on the power of passing on private or secret information, betraying confidences. I don't betray confidences ever. I took blood vows to my gods not to do that because I had my own violated so many times. So I was a Virgo. Cross your legs, keep your mouth shut, right? But the light attribute awakens consideration for the feelings of others, honoring trust. And trust, it's so hard to find trust in relationships, let alone in this world, right? To trust our own intuition. So, create or destroy, I will say, the golden gossip, if you want to call it that, make great confessors, therapists, counselors, right? Because it's in the vault, if you want a Seinfeldian reference to that. All right, crossing the path of party number 1 with the gossip archetype is party number 2. Now, this could be the Virgo as well, or the Cross Watcher, obviously. The angel archetype, the shadow attribute, acting innocent or angelic to mislead others. Well, I did a crap ton of that as a teenager on Long Island. I got away with a shit ton because we didn't have cell phones with cameras. Falsely claiming to be in touch with angelic guidance, which is just cuckoo bats 101, right? No thanks. Archangel Michael says you're an asshole, right? No, Archangel Michael doesn't say that. The light attribute, helping those in need with no expectation of return. So you see, like, both of these could easily be Virgo. In the gold here, really no, it's confidentiality. This is my service, right? Virgin, in that sense of purity. And of course, the angel, helping those in need with no expectation of return, which when we're lit and aligned and all of that, we're glad to. Until we're not, right? Until we take ourselves out of that equation and we burn out. So let's go to Tarot Down. We are going to take 10 of the Mythic Tarot for the lower 3 chakras. We're skipping Heart, Third Eye Crown between the 8th and the lower 3 because in the extended you'll get 10 Daughters of the Moon Tarot for what's behind the scenes. The Mythic Tarot, the masculine energy from the outside looking in at the Virgo or the Cross Watcher, or maybe from them the inside looking out at people, places, and things, situations, because lower 3 chakras are about relationships in the physical world. Please take a nice deep breath. I love this part. This is what people want to know. What's going on in the physical world? Still point. Yeah. When I start to cough in a reading, because I haven't coughed that much today, it means there are some big choices and decisions, throat chakra dynamics. So we'll wait and see what that looks like in part 2. Still point. Yeah. Oh yeah, all right. I call upon my gods of Earth, the sign of Virgo, powers of the North, 10 cards, face down, Celtic Cross for the Virgo Collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and Cross Watchers. Watching this video, receiving this reading on the Path to True Love. In position number 1, the cover, we have got the Gossip. Party number 1 has the Gossip in the 8th chakra archetype, face down. What's going on, lower 3 chakras. And the cross, partner number 2, contestant number 2, the angel archetype in the 8th. What's going on? Lower 3 chakras there. Just one? Nope. There might be some indecision here with the angel, because I'm getting 2 cards in my hand, hence that throat chakra. What do I choose? Please, what do you got for them? My gods of earth, sign of Virgo, powers of the north, the angel archetype. So help them, give help with no expectation of return. Thank you very much. That was work. I do think that was what that third chakra thing's about. What's at the core of this? The subconscious influence, unless they're really tuned in. Then both of them are experiencing that. What is behind them on the path that got them where they are at this crossroads. What crowns this, hovering above it, may drop down into form, may not, but involves usually some kind of choice or decision to delay or not delay what cannot be prevented. What is before them on the path right around the corner? Should they integrate and do what's indicated in the crown? What is the lesson, the universal learning template, what the gods and archangels would have them learn? What does this look like from the outside looking in? How the world would perceive this soul contract? What are their hopes and fears, which is really their fate and their destiny? If they take the hero's journey of this, do what is required, no longer delay what cannot prevent, what is the highest destiny available? Lower 3 chakras here, and of course the most probable outcome to the timeline of this timeline for the Virgo collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Sign, and Cross watchers watching this video, receiving this reading, blah, 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 blah. We got a gossip in the 8th chakra. Whoa, with the death card. We're off to an interesting start. Hades, Lord of the Underworld, husband of Persephone, older brother of all of the Olympians, and the richest, wealthiest amongst them all, because he's got all that stuff down underground, an earth god. But, you know, death is not the end. It's the 13th card, usually, in the major arcana depending on the artist, right? So with that gossip, they are going through an external transformation when it's a major arcana card representing a set of chakras, so I read. It's all 3 of them. So they are going through a total transformation, probably more rising from the ashes than going to, because there is no resurrection without death, no resurrection without crucifixion, right? No rising from the ashes unless you go to them first. Well, then the angel might want to help, and that would make sense, and if they can, because I got the Hangman, 2 major arcana cards. That's why you want me to wait to get the right cards in my hand. It may take a while. Have a chocodile. This is Prometheus bound in Tartarus for stealing fire from the gods. He was a titan. He was older. He was like, no, let's help the humans be independent of the gods. And as a result, they hung him upside down from a rock by his ankle. I don't know that that's the Hangman. I don't know if the original myth he was hung upside down. But a vulture comes and pecks out his liver every day, and because he's an immortal, the fucker grows back, right? Comes back, right? The Titanic bird feeder. Eventually he gets released, Prometheus unbound. But this might be somebody, these 2 might be in a place in their relationship. It feels like they would know each other, where one's going through an immense transformation and the other one is in real surrender, trying to see things differently, right? Now, I don't really get that vibe of acting innocent there with that angel. I think this person does have an open heart, right? Wanting to serve regardless of expectation of return, no expectation of return, but that they're in this place of hanging out. They may not be able to do anything in the physical world right now to help this, except wait, to chill, to pause, to meditate, and to, if you want to go the original hanged man, hanged god, Odin, plucking out an eye, hanging himself upside down from the World Tree Yggdrasil for the Norns to give them lovely cash and prizes, including the runes. So there is a process, there is purpose to this, but you gotta say, lower 3 chakras, Death and Hangman, we're looking at an interesting contract. Remember, not all of these are necessarily romantic. And at the core of this 5 of Swords, there's been some words back and forth between these two for jerseys. A lot of conversation perhaps, but 5 of Swords can be a mental conflict. Now that could be subconscious. There might just be a conflict of beliefs going on here, but beliefs are just thoughts you keep choosing. Doesn't mean they're necessarily based in truth. We are all one. Yeah, that is a thought, and that is a universal truth. All is one. So that flies in the face of a lot of what we believe down here, and is often, well, the illusion of separation is pretty much the cause of every disagreement ever. But it's only a 5. It can pass, right? Go to the 6, right? That balance, that working it out, the gossip and an angel. And what's behind them is the 3 of Pentacles. I had a feeling these two knew each other, that this is maybe a work situation, but 3 of Pentacles is a solid foundation upon which something can be built, right? That's why you often see, right? Hey, do you like these? I can do them all over the castle if you like, right? Rider-Waite Tarot, 3 of Pentacles, right? It's a nice solid foundation. The way I was taught was that you got your cake, you got your eggs, you got your sugar, you got your Nilla. I'm in love with Dylan Hollis, if you know what I'm talking about. I love him. He's so cute, right? You got your mixing bowl, you got all your ingredients, but you ain't got cake, right? You got everything that you need, but you got to put it together and make it bake, let it bake. So there is a solid foundation here. This could be friends, this could be coworkers, this could be lovers, but there's a mental disagreement going on here, which, you know, will that gossip behave themselves and not tell everybody all over town? Because this is something that can be gotten over, except we got the Gemini the Gemini card, the Knight of Swords, galloping. The 4 knights travel at different speeds on a horse. This is the fastest one, gallop. So yeah, there's communication hovering above this puppy, this contract. I think these two need to at some point bring their element of air together and have a decent conversation, one would think. But do keep in mind the gossip is going through massive transformation, and it feels like the angel doesn't know what to do to help, so it's just sort of hanging out, right? Interesting. I've been in this situation. I don't know that I'm in this situation, but you never know what the next chapter is going to be in your contract, right? The next clause, where does this lead? Oh, good. 8 of Wands. I like that. So there is forward movement. 8 of Wands is a lot of fun. 8 of Wands is the arrows of love in Rider-Waite Tarot. I remember that at 12 years old when I started reading tarot, right? Messages moving. Now, with the 8 of Wands, of course, what's backing that up, Heart, Third Eye, Crown, is going to determine the energy of it from lead to gold to an extent. Again, it's a general read. So definitely communications will be been had. Sound like I'm on RuPaul's Drag Race, which is okay, which is wonderful. But this Gemini thing that can be a literal third party, a person, right? Talking about this, particularly with the gossip vibe there. But it can also be one or both of them really having the thoughts go on within themselves individually. And because it's Gemini, the twins, this could be an intellectual second chakra relationship. Second chakra is navel to navel, so to speak, like an umbilical cord. So interesting. I do feel like this will be more creative than destructive, because this is a misunderstanding, is what's going on here, and somebody's most likely gossiping about something that is not actually real, and as a result probably going to ashes and rising from them, and the angel's like, hey, I did my best on this one, I don't know what you're talking about, right? So it does feel like this can be creatively resolved. Let's look at the lesson at the bottom of the staff, the star. there is great hope here. There is great guidance here. I feel like the angel has the opportunity to really tune to something here, a higher guidance, a higher grace. I mean, the star chakra is what a lot of people call the 8th chakra, though it's been called lots of things. This is Pandora and her box. Nice box, Pandora. You shouldn't have opened that lid up, right? Because she let all the evils of the world except for hope. Neil Gaiman said that was sort of cruel, so that we hold on to hope is sort of like the last torture, right? False hope, hoping for things to get better. He's got a point there, and he's Neil Gaiman. But the star is, to me, the highest vibrational spiritual card in the tarot, because it's higher in altitude than the moon or the sun. And certainly making the wish, there's something good on the table here. And even if things don't go, even if neither one of these people get their way, there is a higher guidance here to move through this individually. There's a difference between twin flame and soulmate, and there's links in the description box for that too, and it's not your usual. Thank you, Matt Kahn. Oh, wow, the major arcana keeps coming. Woo! From the outside looking in, this is a Wheel of Fortune deal. This was due to happen anyway. It's written, it's scripted. It is the fates, right? One spins, one measures, one cuts, woven into, written into the script of this contract before you ever incarnated. That's how this stuff works, right? Fate is the lead. It's going to happen. You can't change your fate. It's like your eye color. You can get contact lenses, but you can't change your eye color in this life. Written in, baked in. Let's keep it with the food metaphor, right? But destiny is what you do with it. Do you suffer your fate, or do you manifest your destiny? You do that by taking the journey as consciously as you can, because there's really... heroes or villains, right? Shadow, light or shadow, gold or lead. Those are the choices, but there's a spectrum. And it's not much of a hero's journey without villains, vampires. I can't believe that's the card. The Destiny card. Villains, vampires, demons, and dragons. It ain't much of a... It's not a very good movie, but the Destiny here is 10 of Cups, the true love card. For me, the Ecstasy card, the heart doth overflow. The final union of Eros and Psyche, the god of romantic love, and at this point the goddess of the soul, the word Psyche being Greek for both soul and butterfly. So the Suit of Cups in the Mythic Tarot takes you through that myth from Ace to 10, and we see Psyche's elevation to essentially a goddess, because they love each other, but true love ain't easy. The course of true love never did run smooth. Thank you, Billy Shakespeare. Fuck them. Past life boyfriends. Okay, 8 of Swords we end this one in. So apparently there's a bit more mental stuff going on here, perhaps the repercussions of some of the gossip that may have been shared that were not true. It may be one or both of them feel caught between a rock and a hard place. In this case, the Furies and Apollo. The Furies, essentially the hitmen, women, whatever, of the gods, right? The goddesses of vengeance. They did not like hubris. They certainly didn't like patricide, matricide, fratricide. I guess sister side was okay, because they were always tying some priestess to a rock for the Kraken to come snack on a Kraken snack. So, that there's something in Apollo is like the god of the sun, the god of truth. Don't screw with him. So there may be, and yes, with that 8 of Swords, maybe there's some mental looping here, some inability to let go of mental patterns, or perhaps a stalemate of communication. But the destiny here is true love, but that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to agree. And honestly, is this romantic? You can have true love with a family member. I do. My mom and I have a true love relationship. True love conquers all, but I'm not saying it's always been easy between the two of us, right? But true soulmates in that we help each other heal. Twin flames, you teach each other how to heal yourselves, and it looks good on paper, but it sucks. Pretty much. And you have as many twin flames as necessary so that you can be a soulmate to yourself and soulmate to the others you have that contract with. So there is great hope here. There's a lot of spirit energy, fire, earth, air, water, but the major arcana are spirit. 1, 2, 3, 4, which is not dominant, but with the 10 of Cups there, and pretty much, you got fire, earth, air, and water, so it is balanced. So a gossip and an angel contract. Eight of Swords says that this is not the end, just the end of this scene in the movie, chapter in the book, song on the album, you get it. So, like I said, in the extended, we'll put the Daughters of the Moon tarot under those to see what's going on in the feminine energy, right? The stuff that may not be talked about or immediately seen on the surface. So we have 3 more cards left for this spread, 2 of which are the Whispers of Love from the Whispers of Love Oracle. Angela Hartfield, I love her work. We're using the Whispers of Lord Ganesh in the extended, as well as a lot of other cool stuff. So let's ask the higher selves of all involved. What's going on here? Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. As I call upon the higher selves of all involved, 5th dimension and above, 8th chakra and above, what are the whispers of love here? The piece of information, inspiration, insight first needed, woo, for the gossip in this contract read. And how about for the one with the angel in this contract read? See, we made up for time for them tarot trying to get out my hand. For the gossip with the death card on the outer, we've got practice compassion. Practice compassion, see things from a different perspective. Yeah, that's on the table. And for the angel, back to what you love. Your current situation is giving you an opportunity to evaluate what you want. Do I still want this? Let me hang out upside down from a something. I don't know, one of them inversion beds, right? I don't know, hang from a shower bar or whatever. Deliberately making a sacrifice, perhaps of a point of view, or maybe walking away from this altogether. Ooh. Now, again, this could just as easily be family member, as lover, as coworker, as whatever, right? But obviously this transformation of the death card for the gossip lower 3 chakras, that's a great way to get a lesson in compassion quick, right? Fall to ashes and have to rise again. You, of course, can. You have the choice to cultivate that compassion. Essentially, compassion is a combination of love and wisdom, right? It's not pity. It's not necessarily sympathy either, but it is an understanding that, hey, compassion for yourself. Hey, I made a mistake. It's okay. We all make mistakes. This is a journey, right? We're immortal souls on heroes' journeys in human bodies, right? So to see this from a different perspective is the choice for party number 1, gossip in the 8th, death, lower 3 chakras. But for the angel, it's like, I don't know if they're going to walk away from this, but they're reevaluating what's important to them, because to help with a free and open heart, right? Oh, that's the servant archetype. Helping those in need, this person may be in need, with no expectation of return, but with some sort of mental glitch here or conflict between the two. Could obviously be a miscommunication. Someone believes something that isn't true, as we said. Then this is an opportunity for this one to say, I don't know whether or not this is worth it. Yeah, the word angel from the ancient Hebrew means messenger of light or messenger of truth, because light and truth are symbolically used a lot in ancient as well as contemporary spiritual mystical systems in particular, hence the light attribute in the archetype cards. So it's an interesting thing here, but obviously the healing's in play. Whether or not this is turbulent, of course, depends upon the person watching this, right? But for a general read, there's great hope here. There's great guidance. This was scheduled to happen. Wheel of Fortune also says, this too shall pass. 10 of Cups, there is true love here available. That's why it could be a family member, right? That kind of, oh, you asshole, I forgive you, right? I'm sorry, I made a mistake. Let's go have brunch, right? But with that 8 of Swords, it feels like there's still some unfinished stuff there. This might be one 5 of Swords moment of many, but particularly if someone's feeling hamstrung, stuck, blindfolded, and bound in here, it's an interesting dynamic. So let's get our last card on the table, the Matt Kahn Healing Mantra deck. Doesn't matter which one you are here, work this mantra, because these mantras work if you work on. Please take a nice deep breath. See, stopped coughing. Still point. As I call upon the ascended masters of the path of true love, which is the masters of truth and love, the divinity of the divine masculine in the third eye, the divinity of the divine feminine in the heart chakra, with that divine child, bringing it all together, bringing that into alignment. Please, beloved ascended masters, one card in clarity for the Virgo collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, and cross watcher watching this video, receiving this reading. Last card down, the perfect healing mantra to help them alchemize the shadow to light, the pain to peace, the toxic to healthy, the lead to gold, on the path of true love in this gossip angel contract. In this timeless read, so we've got a gossip and an angel processing grief. My losses prove how deeply I loved. Oh boy. Well, you know, it used to be her town. It used to be her town too, right? It used to be my town too. This could be a broken relationship that has already passed. You may not be in each other's lives. I was raised by a divorce lawyer. I'm very familiar with this vibration. Somebody gossiping and the other one's like, I don't know what to do anymore. I don't know what to do. I helped them as best as I could. Now, that can be a friend divorce. That can be, I mean, I don't think literally that party number one has crossed over, re-emerged into the non-physical Abraham Hicks, please pick up the courtesy telephone. I don't know that that's the case, but there is a loss here. Now, another take on this, because here's a general read for you. Who hasn't experienced the ego wounds of loss? There's abuse, neglect, codependence, and loss. Everybody gets those pretty much, unless you were raised in a bubble by Buddhists. I don't know how you got away without that in relationships in general. So you may not have wounds of abuse, you may not have wounds of neglect, you may not have wounds of codependence, although I don't see how anybody could avoid it, but everyone experiences loss, right? So my losses prove how deeply I loved. Processing grief. This could be emotional baggage from both of them, as well as this gossip could be going through a very heavy duty loss, which feels like a death, and they're transforming. Loss of identity, loss of job, loss of anything. But how they communicate that, their creativity, really, you can be very, very creative in processing grief. And I do agree that you know, everybody needs to find their own way through. There's no one way, and not everybody processes and heals grief at the same speed. But look at it this way. It can be delayed, but it can't be prevented, but you can't jam on the accelerator on it either. So, let's read it from the boogie book. Processing grief. My losses prove how deeply I loved. When grief is processed, you are able to notice the maturity you gained even when losing the people, places, and things that once defined your sense of self. As you process grief, you are able to celebrate how deeply you committed to love instead of holding a grudge towards those who left or couldn't love you back. Yes, that is in relationships, but I get really clear that this could also be a partnership, husband, wife, lovers, friend, whatever, where the party number one has lost their job. That's an example, right? Lost their job, and they're like, I don't know what to do to help you. And of course they would be met, well, how are we going to pay the bills, right? That Five of Swords thing, kind of feeling it. But with that Knight of Swords, if they can find a way of communicating freely and in a healthy way, there's great true love available here. Once grief is fully processed, it can ignite deeper commitment to love, right? Ten of Cups is the destiny if you want it. You know that your alignment with Source is not a matter of what comes or goes, Star card. It is determined by how much of yourself you are willing to share, and that is a choice, and that's a good choice. I get to choose how much I want to share, right? Angel with Prometheus bound and his liver pecked out. I mean, I guess it's a good way to lose weight, but not really. This mantra is ideal for opening back up to love, rebuilding trust, honoring trust here, rebuilding trust, and addressing heartache. And wow. Well, there it is. So here's what's going to happen. I'm going to put it together in a bless summation. It's a combination of a blessing and a summation, a word we came up with over on Patreon, to put this all together. And then we'll chat a little bit at the end if you want to talk about getting a private read, because I got to release us for a minute. reset the deck, reset the camera, and dive into the extended. And I'll tell you right now, we got 10 Daughters of the Moon Tarot cards. We've got the Animal Oracles, the Divine Animals Oracle. We got a lot that's hitting this one. The new Archangel Fire Oracle, the Lord Ganesh deck. We're even getting you a Blessing card. Yeah, and we'll see what else. I might grab the Crystal Oracle because we're Virgo. Please take a nice deep breath. Oh, still point. As I call upon the collective pantheons of the divine. For the Virgo collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross watchers watching this video, receiving this reading, may we be blessed with all that we need on the path of true love, so that party number one with the gossip can awaken their considerations for the feelings of others and developing trust. And of course, that processing grief is part of that. And why wouldn't they? Because there's been some kind of transformation that happened, is happening, or will happen here, and you know, that can bring out the worst in us, particularly if we think it's someone else's fault or someone else did it to us. Tricky. And so that this angel can help those in need with no expectation of return while they hang out, while they chill, while they sacrifice perhaps their point of view on this, trying to see it differently, trying to be a messenger of truth and light. Regardless, because there is this Five of Swords mental conflict underneath it, and there is a solid foundation here, at least to begin with. It's not the 10 of Pentacles, but it's a 3. This could be they've been dating, or they're at a new beginning phase, sort of, so to speak, in their relationship. So communication is key here, and it crowns. But mutable air, talking about it in different ways, seeing it from different sides, exploring all the different points of view, which of course would move to forward motion of desire, manifestation of desire, moving it forward. 8 numbers of solidity, earth, manifestation, and fire, the arrows of love. Maybe even passionate communication, but passionate can mean angry too. So it kind of depends on what's going on here, because the lesson here involves the star, that there are pieces of destiny, there is guidance, there is grace, and yeah, from the outside looking in, it would be, because it's woven. It's fated, but fate and destiny is the difference between lead and gold, suffering your fate or manifesting your destiny. And the way to do that is to invoke, practice, tune to, bring true love, 10 of Cups, to this thing. Not just unconditional love, love with truth. You can't fake true love. You can, but not with Virgos usually. And 8 of Swords, maybe there is still a stalemate, some unresolved stuff going on here. Although the positive side of the 8 of Swords really can be doubling down on an idea or thought, and a commitment to a thought, again bringing it to the 9, and then its resolution in the 10. But may they be blessed with all that they need. The gossip practicing compassion, the angel getting back to what they love, really considering if this is worth it all, as they both most likely process grief, their own individually before they met, maybe a loss that went on in their relationship or similar, because their losses prove how deeply they loved. So may they be blessed with all that they need, that they can heal, grow, learn, evolve. Take the hero's journey on the path of true love, chip away the excess marble, and reveal the magnificent true love creation underneath that, anchoring true love into Earth's electromagnetic field for the well-being of all, and with harm to none, as we will it. So let it be done. So would it be. So it is. Wow. Yeah, it sounds like a relationship. It happens. Again, I would love to know. I'm a Virgo. I'm curious. What kind of relationship is this? Because this could be love, or this could be family. Any place where there was a confidence or that was broken, or a trust that was violated, right? It could be about anything. So if you liked it, I know it's not the kind of reading you're like, oh, I liked it, but it does help other people find it. Shifts the algorithm or something like that. And if you want more of me here on YouTube, subscribe and hit the notification bell, because I put these out when I'm done, or sometimes I schedule them because I'm self-employed and I get to make those choices. It's a Virgo power. And, you know, you want the deeper dive, more magic, more miracles, more mysticism, more malady, the extended readings. Boom. Come play Patreon on Patreon. $3 as a seeker. First tier gets you the daily check-ins and the extended readings. Top tier, $20. God Goddess is one single tier. Gets you everything on there. And I'm not stopping anytime soon, so come play Patreon on Patreon with the Archangelo Lyons, Angelo Lyons at Virgos. Call me now. And if you want to book me for a private reading, seriously, clients come first. I will juggle a schedule for a client. There's a link in the description box to a video I made a few years ago, booking a reading with Mal. Explains everything you ever wanted to know about booking a reading with Mal, like that we can record it on Zoom and send it to you, and I send pictures of the spreads for you because I'm a Virgo and I'm thorough and I'm a freaking angel. So yeah, click the link if you are so interested. Explains everything you ever wanted to know but were afraid to ask. Otherwise, I could see myself more in a friendship situation with this. Maybe someone from the past is coming back, I don't know, but I'm jumping over to the extended. So Vimeo on demand, Patreon, hang in there, go check it out. Wishing you the very best and the very best on the very best and the very blessed on the path that you love, my Virgos and cross watchers. Heal, hail, farewell, and blessed be.